So welcome back, viewers. Here we are on our second video in the series. Once again, I'll just mention that it's FS22 for Dummies. Doesn't mean you're dumb if you watch it. It's just a way of dumbing things down, you know, so it makes it so that just everybody, normal people, can understand it. Nothing too hard. And yeah, so don't think you're a dummy. It's not about that at all. But anyway, here we are. We're going to do silage today, and we've started off with our $10 and a ute strategy, which you know, if you're on a let's play with $10 and a ute, once you did a few contracts, you could afford something along this line. So yeah, $10 and a ute. So we get our U-Beauty whippersnipper, and we've got our shovel. Pick it up, throw it in the back of our trailer. This shovel's it's a lot harder to use than you think. It swings around all over the place. So yeah, if you had plenty of time on your hands, as you can see, this actually works. We're picking up the grass in the trailer, and yeah, $10 and a ute. I might even do one of those let's plays one day. I'll see if we can find a decent map. See what I mean about this? Look at that. Come on, pick it up. Oh, did I get some? I got some on there. I'm sure once you got the hang of it, this is the first time I've ever used a shovel. And as you know, I don't do much prep work before my videos, unfortunately. I just think there's a good idea and get in and start recording. But yeah, there we go, got a full shovel full there. I'll throw that in the back. Jump up in there. There you go, get in there. Beautiful. Might as well leave our shovel in there. And off we go. Down to the silage pit. Now most, it's like a clamp. Most farms will come with a silage clamp when you're playing. If not, they're cheap to buy. There's a heap of different ones you can get. I think there's even indoor ones, but yeah, so down to the silage clamp, and we'll drop that off. And then once you fill your silage clamp up, you need to level it out and flatten it, like compact it, and then cover it, and I think it takes a day or two. We'll find out later. But anyway, we'll empty this out in here. And as you can see, it'll take you a long time to fill that up, but if you've only got $10 and a ute, well, that's what you're going to have to do. Anyway, I'll be back momentarily with another scenario we could try. So here we are, viewers. This is like more or less the basic setup that you'll get if you go with a new farmer option. It's got the $9,500 Kuhn mower, a Kuhn baler, and a Fendt favourite tractor. So off we go. So the first thing we have to do if we're going to get silage is get grass. Hopefully we've got everything working. So off we go. This is one of your more basic methods. You might be lucky enough to get a baler. If not, we'll have to save up to buy one. When you hear the buzzer go, just watch your percentage there and it'll fill up, and then you normally have to stop while they drop the bale. Turn on automatic drop, see down the bottom on the D-pad. We didn't have that on, and there's our first bale. We can change bale size. See if I can, that should change hopefully to square bales. That was just with R3. R1, R3, change the bale size. Seems to be going a hell of a long way before we get a bale. Normally you get more bales than this, I think. Anyway, here comes our next one. Now we're hoping, if all things, this should be square. No? Let's try that again. 25, 180. Turn on the mower. Put that on automatic. That's going along okay. Now don't expect this to pick up all the bales because I was mucking around with the sizes, although it should take the square ones hopefully. So let's see how this goes. So this is a bale wrapper, fairly cheap one, I think it's about 30,000. Looks like it only does, I don't know, we'll have to see what size bales it does. Unfold bale wrapper, turn on automatic drop. Obviously this does square bales, maybe it does round as well, we'll see. Now I've seen people actually make money, this is how they make their money, making silage and selling it in bales. Now when they start off they get out and just mow. So normally you can drive around up to the next bale while you do this. I wonder if it'd do a round one. No. There's the answer to your question. Drove straight over it. Yeah, one particular thing you have to pay particular attention to, there's for two particulars in one sentence there, is bale sizes. Like when you're wrapping, when you're picking them up with an auto loader, yeah, you'll notice there's two different round bales there. You could have a trailer, an auto load trailer, you know, it'll pick one up but not the next. And you can't mix square and round, and you can't mix different sizes. But this should spit a bale out soon, and this isn't the most exciting stuff I've ever seen, but it's, well, there might be people out there that aren't familiar with this. That's my target audience, to help people out who just need a bit of a leg up. Like I said on my previous video, I've got quite a few hours on this, and I'm no expert. There's a lot of things I don't know. I think what happens is you get caught in playing the same way all the time. You need to get a bit experimental, lash out and use different equipment and try different ways of doing things, which I've been guilty of not really doing. If anything, some of this stuff here I've never used before. That's why it's a bit like sus and things don't work properly and all that, but yeah, I've never used some of these things before. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to jump in here and drop these bales. And we'll park this up. And we'll go for our next scenario. But we've got some nice wrapped silage bales there. Still turned on by the look of it. Well enough, I've lined this up. I used to like, before they really came up with the auto-load trailers, you'd pick your bales up or wrap them, and you'd fly along really fast and have this sort of drop thing hanging out the side, and the whole idea was to try to, and you'd see how fast you could go, pick them up going as fast as you could and try to line them up. You know, I don't know, yeah, I just used to enjoy it, just driving around fast trying to get all the bales to line up and wrap them up or pick them up. Okay, so there we go. So this is our next scenario. This is a good mower on the front, and it's about $100,000 or more for this baler, but it will wrap them automatically and keep going on a hired worker. Now there are a few different sizes. Now I got caught out on this a bit. So what you've got to be careful of is, if you go into here and what we own, balers, we'll go down to this one here. It's well, it's only $73,000 actually. So it says up the top that it wraps them in foil and that. But the thing is that caught me out was, you'll see bales here 125 to 184, and I was trying to make those, but then down the bottom underneath on the second line, 125 to 154, and they're foiled. So it won't foil the larger bales. You've got to keep the bale size down to what it foils. So that's a trap for young players there, but yeah, so just be wary of that. So I'll just do one more and then we'll swap to the last of our baling options. There are millions of options. I haven't covered anywhere near even half of them. But yeah, just a couple of quick and easy ones. You know what you'll probably get to start off with, having to take a wrap around and wrap them yourself, up to the auto wrapper. So you could mow, get a big mowing set up with a windrower on the back, windrow it all up, then go around with a baler on the back without a mower on the front, if that's how you want to do it. I don't really see any advantage. I think it'd be much of a muchness, because you'd be driving backwards and forwards with the windrower, where you could have the baler on automatically, but you know, some people like to do it step by step. But yeah, this did have me. I didn't think this worked until I thought I'll just have one last look. So it pays to read the information. You know, like I said, I've played it for long enough that I should have known that, but when you just do the same thing all the time and don't really read what's going on and pay attention, you get caught out. But hey, it's all good now. So you're looking at under 100,000 for this setup, minus the tractor, obviously. He always turns that little bit too far to the right, this bloke. Well, here he comes, he's on his way back now. Come on, fill this up. Once again, these are quite large bales. That's 16,000. That's a huge bale. Maybe it's because I've got the big bale mod on, but I didn't think it. I thought you had to pick that. But anyway, it doesn't matter. This setup's working out great. We'll do the first time. Let's say if we get two, we know we're on a winner. Yeah, I don't normally bail. You'll see why in a minute. Here it comes. Nice big 22,000 litre bale. That'd feed the sheep for a month. That'd fill up. Most of the in-game sheep pens only take 5,000 in feed. That'd fill it up and just sit there and slowly keep filling it. That's great. So there we go. This is a great idea, this one. I like it. Okay, let's move on. So this is what I consider, if you want to do it this way and bale it, this is the best scenario. We've got the swather, which is 100. I think the cost you a little bit for the front. The baler, this is a $200,000 setup. But check that out. It whips them out. And you're doing a nice wide, I think it might be 9 metres. So this is like a bit of end game when you've got your farm up and running and you're running a good sized farm and making good money. Although one good cotton harvest will get you way more than this. I had it on, what did I have it on? Easy economy. It was $80,000 per bale of cotton if you had sold it at the right time, which is very important, selling your stuff at the right time, holding on to it, and if you can afford to. But yeah, so if you do a decent sized field, you'll get your money to buy this setup. And your animals will thank you. But yeah, so that's really dropping them out now. This is working fantastically. So too many bales, please sell some first. Well, there you go. There's something I've never seen happen before because I don't normally bale. So we'll leave that there. We'll cross that bridge later when we get to it. I'll have to sell some bales. Okay, I'll be back with the last of our options for making silage. So here we are, viewers, back again with one of the final options, and probably the most common way to make silage. A silage clamp and a lot of grass. Don't know what happened to our grass we put in with the ute. Oh, it's disappeared. Ripped off. So we drive here. We empty our grass out. Try to drive around and move around a bit so it doesn't all just go in one big pile. Okay. We'll just leave the trailer here for a moment. Now, the heavier the tractor, the better for this. You can get levelers, there's rollers, there's all sorts of things to do this with. Now, I'll have to turn on the, just bear with me for 2 seconds. Come on, what are you doing? The one time I turned this off, I need it on. See, now, the funny thing is, chaff, or what I refer to in Australia as chaff, it turns straight into chaff. Grass turns straight into chaff. So if you need to mix chaff in with something else, there's no need to go and specifically get chaff by using a forage harvester or anything. Just put grass in here and just dump it in there, then scoop it up. You've got chaff. But anyway, back on the tractor. We'll just flatten this out, compact it. We'll probably get stuck a few times as you normally do, but it's just a matter of driving back and forward, back and forward. As long as we don't get it stuck. Then again, you always get another tractor and ram it at 55 miles an hour if you have to. You'll see that's starting to level out a little bit. So we've got our compacting on the left hand side there at the bottom, 58% I think it said. $84. This is actually going pretty good. Sometimes if you've only got small equipment when you start out, it takes you forever and a day to do this, but this tractor's quite heavy. 99, 100%. So we jump off, go over to the silo, and it will give you a blanketing option, which is press L3. So that's now turning into silage. We'll leave that there to continue on its merry way. Because there's a couple other options, and then that'll be it for today's video. I'll try to get those out of the way quickly. I was trying to keep my videos down to 15 minutes each, but that never works. I don't know. Maybe I explain things too much, or I don't know. We'll get more grass. As you can see, we've got quite a bit in here. While we're waiting for that to fill up, we may as well have a look at the next couple of options. So we go to build mode, construction, production, down to factories, and then they're all more or less here in a row. Farm plus, or farm supplies production. I think there's a few colours, but that's not important. It says there, just what you need for your farm, like TMR, make TMR, hay, silage, mineral feed, blah blah. Next one's a fermenting silo, which we haven't got an example of, but it's 30,000. You'll see there it turns chaff grass and maybe hay into silage. The next one is the most expensive of them, but it's quite flash looking. This is a simple grass. This one also makes hay, which is pretty cool, because hay's, you know, a bit of a pain. So hay and silage, and then we get the Hessian fermenter silo, which once again turns all four of those things on the right into silage. So yeah, there's another one there too, Fields Product Factory. Yeah, there's plenty of them. Yeah, if it depends on how much money you've got, you might want to go the nice looking one. Yeah, 15 grand, 25 grand, 30 grand. Nothing too much to worry about there. So off we go in our truck. Or a tractor. Looks like a truck from the back. So I'll head down to the first of our... What's the intake? So in at the back. We'll do the empty as in just empty. Ha! But that's okay. So there you go, we'll put a bit in there. Okay, so we'll move this out of the way. Let's go to the first of them. Turn them all on. Oh, it'd have to save now, wouldn't it? Unbelievable. Okay, so here you'll see grass, total mix ration, what is what I want? Grass to silage. There you go. 1,000 to 1,000. Activate. Put our silage on. I don't know where we do that. Down here. Here we go. Silage on storing. So that started off, and that's doing it already. Let's go over to this one. Obviously don't have to, you have to activate this one. Same thing. So it's either grass to hay or grass to silage. We'll activate that. Got it on storing. And that's only got 25,000. Look how much grass that must hold. 25,000, like that must hold 5 million grass. That's going a bit silly, but so that started working. Then we'll just check the last one, which doesn't seem to have a turn on, turn off switch. This one you must have to turn on from in the menu. So we'll have to go into our productions. Hessian. Must have to do it from in here. You do grass into silage. Running. See, that's not very full either. That goes at 120 cycles per month, and that's starting to make it. So there we go, 120 cycles per month. 240. Well, that wasn't on grass. Hang on, may as well do it properly. 240, so that's a little faster. Sorry about all this running around. And the last one is 48. Well, I showed you that one there. It's more expensive and slower. Really, your best bet would be the center one here, because you can start it off from here on the ground. But there they are. So now we'll take a couple of days off and we'll come back and see how much we've got and check out our silage in the bunker. So here we are back again, viewers, and as you can see, fermented silage 100%, open silo L3. There's your silage. It's a bit more of a brown colour. So all you have to do now is get something to scoop this up. There are plenty of options to do that. I'm not going to go through that with you at the moment, but yeah, it's just a matter of getting yourself a front end loader, a wheel loader, a telehandler, or there's a big vacuum sucker upper thing that you can use. Just have a look through your mods, you'll find the appropriate what you need. So I'll head back over to our silos and see how they're going. So let's head over to this one first. And we now have 32 tonne of silage. That's turned all that in one sleep, which is a month, into silage. This one, it's plugging along. It's not going quite as quick. I know, it's got 26,000 litres of silage, which is great. And this, which is the slowest of the lot, has 25,000 litres of silage. So, really, grow grass. Make sure you keep rolling it and keep it fertilised. Get yourself a mower and a TARDIS and a big tractor. You might not be able to afford it straight up, but just a mower and any sort of baling wagon, forage wagon, and put it in one of these. So that's another episode. That's episode 2, silage, out of the way. I hope it was informative. That's the whole idea of it. I'm sure most people know how to do this, but maybe not. Maybe they're not familiar with the mods. Maybe they don't know all the different ways. There are probably other ways too. If you want to drop it in the comments, the way you make your silage, feel free. I get heaps of comments all the time, like none. So yeah, thanks for watching. Stay safe, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Bye.